everybody, we are the Babes of Bourbon. I am Megan Rudder.
And I am Eric Rudder.
Today we are going to be reviewing Blanton's.
Woo! So a lot of people are probably really jealous, and
Just of us
that
in
we
general.
have, of us in general.
We're so cool.
That we have not just one but two bottles of Blanton's here.
That's right.
And I will be honest, there's a lot of hype around Blanton's.
Lots of hype.
Yes.
And you know what? A lot of people, they go both ways. Some people just absolutely love Blanton's, and some people, honestly, they think it's overrated.
Mm-hmm.
I think we stand really in the middle, and the reason why is because this is the world's original single barrel bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
So every barrel is so different. Like, we've had the experience of drinking some absolutely amazing Blanton's.
Yes. Lots of flavor.
And
lots of deliciousness.
we've also had the experience of having a really not great bourbon from Blanton's before as well.
At least mediocre, where it's not worth the premium in price that you're paying. So
Yes.
Blanton's normally runs, if you find it at retail, between $60 to $75 is where I would say I found it more. But the secondary market, it goes up to prices from anywhere to $100 to $200. So we just sort of want to review it and see if it's worth paying that much money, and see where the night takes us.
Oh yeah.
Woo!
Woohoo! And Blanton's, it's just a fun bourbon in my
Yes.
opinion. Anyone that has experience with it, you can see that it has some really cool, are these derby riders?
Yes.
I don't know what you call
Derby.
them.
Kentucky
Jockeys?
Derby.
Yeah.
Well, jockey. Jockey's the person riding the horse.
Yes. And you can tell that the horse tails are different. This one's pointed down, the other one's pointing up. There are several different tops to collect,
Yes.
which can be a really fun experience.
And they all spell out Blanton's if you get them all.
Really?
Yeah.
This has an A on it.
Yep.
Oh, this one has a B. Okay, I saw someone. If you guys are in Wisconsin at all, there's the Wisco
Bourbon
Club on Facebook that we're a part of. It's really fun because, with everything going on in the world and not seeing people, it's really fun on the timelines to just see posts about bourbon all day long. Kind of brings us a lot of joy.
Yes.
But someone said that he wanted to trade letters. And I was sitting here and I was looking all over this bottle. I'm like, I don't see any letters. What is this guy talking about? And now it's this little itty bitty A. I don't think you can see it, but right at the foot. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so some people really love collecting Blanton's because of that. And they also have the date it was bottled on the bottle. So you see a lot of people trying to trade for the different dates and everything. And then really quick on the Wisconsin Bourbon Club. I've had an absolute blast being part of that club.
Me too.
It's a lot of fun. And whether if your state has one or you're on Facebook and you see a bourbon club, I would highly recommend joining it.
Yeah.
You get a lot of information of where some rare to find bourbons might be, and you also get a lot of good education out there.
And I really enjoy too, people sharing their very honest opinions about the different bottles.
Yes.
And if you ever have any questions about hey, is this a good bottle? Put it on the club. People will respond, and it's a very interactive page.
Yes.
Which I like. You'll see 40 comments sometimes on people's posts, and it's wow.
Normally you can get a response while you're in the store.
Yeah. Exactly.
You don't have to worry about losing that bottle.
No, not at all. So a little bit about the history of Blanton's, and honestly why this is such a cool thing. First off, the little cannonball shape or whatever this is, they just package it absolutely beautifully. It has so much class. Colonel Albert Bacon Blanton. How fun is that? His
Well,
name
you
Bacon.
found out his middle name.
That's right. I did research today. He was someone who grew up at Buffalo Trace Distillery They said he worked every job, from the office job everywhere across the distillery, just really learning everything. And in 1921, I believe, is when he became head honcho, guy in charge of everything. And his job was not easy. Like, I think a lot of times we romanticize the master distillers or the owners, the people that ran all these places, because of the success they have now.
Mm-hmm.
But he worked there during the Prohibition. He was there during the World Wars. He was there during the Roaring 20s, followed by the Great Depression. He led this distillery through so much, and he was the person that was there while the Prohibition was going on. And actually, Buffalo Trace had the privilege of being one of 4 distilleries in Kentucky that remained open. So just a really cool guy. There's a lot of history out there on him. Very interesting.
Yes. And, well, at least how Buffalo Trace likes to tell the story.
That's right. The hero.
Is his predecessor, Elmer T. Lee.
Predecessor?
Or is that... The predecessor is before... Who's after? Whew.
His follow-up,
His
understudy,
follower,
whatever you
yes, his understudy, who became the master distiller,
Yes.
Elmer T. Lee. So Blanton would have frequent dinner parties, and he would find what he would call the honey barrel, the best barrels in the distillery to entertain his guests with.
Yeah.
Probably,
I wish I was at those parties.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Absolutely. That's probably how they were able to distill during Prohibition.
Here,
Here's the
choose
best.
our distillery, and you'll get to sample a lot of bourbon.
But Elmer,
Medicinal purposes.
yes,
Of course.
Elmer T. Lee absolutely loved the idea, and I didn't do as much research as you today, so I don't know the exact year, but I think it was in the 1980s.
1984,
Before he retired.
the year before he retired.
Yes, he decided to use this as a marketing idea a little bit and start the single barrel in memory of Albert Blanton. And that's how born the first single barrel.
Dun, dun, dun. I feel like a goody two-shoes student right now. I'm like, it was 1984, the year before his first. I literally read this like 20 minutes ago to refresh my mind. But yeah, and like Elmer T. Lee, being the master distiller of Buffalo Trace through 1985, it wasn't an easy job. Again, we romanticize these people because they have their names on the bottles, and the bourbon is so sought after. But he led Buffalo Trace through a time where people didn't even want to drink bourbon anymore. They were all about the white spirits of gin and vodka, and those were the cocktails being made. Like, people didn't want this old man's drink, which now we're like, give me an old man's drink. I'm like, I'll be an old man. Like, he was one of the reasons that bourbon came alive again, which, how amazing. I'm so grateful that they did that, because it's delicious. That's all. Like, how many distilleries have the single barrels? Like, every single one. It keeps bourbon so fresh and interesting. Now, that being said, why don't we pop it open and do a sip?
So we did have one bottle open, but so these 2 bottles are from different dates.
Yes.
One is from 9/2, and the other one was dumped on 9/15. So same month, but
Different days.
different days. They are all stored. All Blantons are stored in warehouse H, which, interestingly enough, is a metal warehouse, and which was built by Mr. Blanton, Colonel Blanton, not Mr. Blanton.
Don't want to disrespect him. Get it together. No.
Yes, which was a metal warehouse, which is very interesting. With being metal, it ages the bourbon a little differently. Probably a little quicker because the humidity and everything else is different in there.
They said the walls being thinner allows the inside of the warehouse to be more of the same temperature as it is in the outside, and therefore like allowed the bourbon to expand and contract into the charred barrels and gain more flavor. So every Blanton's is stored and aged in warehouse age.
I believe you're supposed to go sideways. I've never opened one of these. There we go.
I opened this one. It's fun. They got this little wax ring. And for complete and all honesty, this one that we have already opened, the one with the A on it, that was barreled on 9/15/2020. We weren't huge fans of this one. We'll review it in a second. I'm really hoping we love this one over here.
But it was still very good. It just wasn't quite as powerful as other ones we had.
It's really hard sometimes when you're doing a bourbon tasting lineup in Kentucky compared to all the other ones around you. But that being said, we were still super grateful to get our hands on this bad boy while we were there.
Woo!
All right, let's pour away. So I'm gonna pour the one.
Woo!
I'm gonna pour this one in the front.
Okay.
Ooh, that was a big pour. I'm gonna pour my own. I'll pour my own.
Okay.
Switch.
Okay, switch it up. Somebody doesn't want a big pour.
That's right. Here, we can't mix up our horses.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Audience, how did we do it? Did we mix up the horses?
I don't think
know.
we did. You tell us.
Yeah. In the comments below.
All right. Let's start with the one we've had before. What do you think?
Yes, which was the top
The
one.
front one, yeah. What do you smell? This one's hard for me. Maybe vanilla?
Yeah, vanilla. I would say vanilla and pretty much just vanilla.
That's really what I'm getting. I'm gonna go in for the sip.
Yes. I do get the vanilla still on the palate. I would say this one is slight. So this is Mash Bill 2 from Buffalo Trace, which is slightly higher rye than their Mash Bill 1. So I am getting a little more of that rye in there.
And I would say too with the I can't remember if I've said this, I always call it the burn factor. We were talking to his cousins and they were like, they call it the Kentucky Kiss.
Yeah.
Or Kentucky Heat.
Yes, Kentucky Heat.
Kentucky Heat. And I'm like, wow, what a classy way of saying that instead of the burn or gag factor. I would say the Kentucky Heat hits really at the back of my throat for this one. It doesn't really spread across the palate. Yeah. And I think for this one, the one from 9/15, I have been really intrigued with how the flavor has changed as it's been opened.
Yes.
Like when we first opened it, I can't honestly remember if we opened it in Kentucky or if we opened it once we got home. But it had more of that Kentucky heat. It wasn't something that really stood out flavor profile wise to me as much as some of the others like Colonel E.H. Taylor or the Eagle Bear. But as time has gone on and we've let this one breathe, I have enjoyed it more and more each time.
Yes. It's gotten better and better each time.
Yeah.
Starting to shine a little more.
Yeah, this one, it doesn't pack as much of a flavor punch. Really, it's just, to me, subtle vanilla, a little bit of rye, maybe a little bit of oak in there.
Lots of oak, in my opinion. I definitely get a good oak punch.
Good oak punch?
Yes.
That's my oak punch. All right.
One last sip before we go on. All right.
I'm really excited to do this side-by-side comparison. Now this one, I'm just looking at what date it was bottled. 9/2, September 2nd.
Okay.
Let's see the difference. Right off the bat, it smells different.
Yes. I still get vanilla notes in there, but there are stronger vanilla notes.
I almost smell a fruit in this one. I don't know if I'm right. Probably not. But in my head, I smell fruit.
Maybe honeydew?
Oh, yeah. Totally. Because that has I can never smell melon. Like, it doesn't... I don't know. I don't think they have much of a scent.
Yes. But on this channel, we never want to lie. What we smell is what we smell.
That's right.
So we might not smell too much, but we're being authentic.
We don't look it up ahead of time. All right, let's go for it. Wow.
So much more flavor.
That is just completely different. That is just crazy to me.
Yes.
Like, I was expecting, like, some subtleties. I was not expecting, like, this much of a difference.
This one is a mouthful of flavor.
Mm-hmm. And this one, like, it, like, lingers on the tongue.
Yes.
And that's such, okay, again, to emphasize why I personally think Blanton's is cool. Like, for nothing other than the fact of being a single barrel, having so much differentiation between, like, this bottle and this bottle, just being barreled a few days, well... like 2 weeks apart.
Mm-hmm.
You never know what you're gonna get.
These two are completely different.
Completely.
It's like buying a lottery ticket almost.
Yeah.
You'll get some that are very, very, very good, like this one right here. This one has so much flavor.
Yeah.
Compared to this one, which is good.
But not like this one.
I did not expect to be blown away this much by the difference.
Yeah. It's almost hard to describe. It's like when this bottle, when we're drinking it, the flavor is much more subtle. It doesn't really linger in your mouth. It's just kind of almost like if you wanted someone who didn't really like bourbon very much, they didn't like that full mouthfeel flavor, like this bottle would be the one that I would give them. Where if you were, with someone that drinks bourbon all the time, pull this bad boy out.
Yes.
So if you've had Blanton's maybe only once, maybe twice, and you didn't really enjoy it, I would say do not give up. Keep drinking it because it is so unique and flavorful.
And if you don't want to spend the $65 for another bottle, or if you see it for $120 to $160 at a store, I would pass on that $120 to $160 if you've had bad experiences with it in past. I would personally probably pass on it even if I do enjoy it, but everybody has different budgets that they can fall into and what they can afford for themselves. If you really, really love Blanton's and you have a bottle that you normally can't get, I don't discourage you from doing that. I don't enjoy the secondary marketing, but it is what it is for right now.
Yeah, we're also a newly married couple
Yes.
and like new homeowners as well, so it's like we have to kind of stick more to the MSRP.
Correct.
I definitely envy people that have the ability to buy like whatever bottle they want. Yes. Like, heck, go for it. You enjoy your life. And if you want to share, we're always here. Yeah. Yeah, this is so much fun. I love it.
It smells so good.
It does. And next week, guys, I know we have been more in Buffalo Trace. We've done a review of Woodford Reserve as well. We're going to stray away from Buffalo Trace next week and talk about Wild Turkey.
Wild Turkey. Yes, it will be a good channel. We're going to actually sample
a lot of different Wild
yes.
Turkey. So.
And we're going to actually review a book. Megan has a little homework to do.
Yeah, he just walks in my office one day and throws a book on my desk. He's like, this is your homework for the channel. Okay. But but I'm actually really enjoying it. He was trying to do it for this week, and I was like, I want to finish my book. I need to be prepared. Gotta do my homework before we go on. But
yes,
we'll tell you all about it. Of course, if you enjoyed, like and subscribe. Visit us on Instagram.
Yes, absolutely. Babes of Bourbon, the Babes of Bourbon on Instagram.
Yeah.
We'll have the link down below as well. I think that's it.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Happy sipping. Have a great week.